Hi, in this video we'll analyze how central midfielders influence the tempo and development of attack through their decision making, using examples of Bruno Fernandes, Iniesta, Xavi Hernández, Jude Bellingham, and many others. This topic is one of the most difficult for any central midfielder to understand. Watch this video until the end and you will gain a much better understanding of situations where you need to play quickly and not overhold the ball, and when, on the contrary, you need to take more than 2 touches or even carry the ball forward for 10 meters. Let's start with situations where an attacking midfielder supports or accelerates the tempo of the game by releasing the ball quickly. The first type is higher position pressing, especially when they play man-oriented and your teammate on the ball, just like you, and the nearest passing options are under position control. This is play under time pressure, where your advantage comes from timely movement and scanning, which allows you to break the opponent's press with a single touch. But there are opposite conditions where quick play is also relevant. For example, slow positional attacks against a compact block. Here Bruno's teammates have time on the ball and act without urgency, just like the opponent, who is not rushing to apply pressure or leave space. After Bruno receives between the lines, the balance of the opponent's structure is lost for a short moment, as a center-back has to step out of the line and a fullback must compensate for the space inside. Bruno immediately accelerates the game before the opponent can restore their structural balance. With just 2 touches, he turns a slow attack into a pre-assist situation. Low blocks can be broken in a similar way. A slow positional attack, but a pass into the space between the lines forces the opponent to react. As soon as the defenders do, they leave space behind them. At that time, the midfielder is able to assess not only their step out, but also the striker's movement. A quick one-touch combination turns a slow attack into a one-on-one with a goalkeeper. If positional attacks often require changes of tempo, counter-attacks usually require adapting to a fast rhythm. Here Bruno assesses positions and frees space as soon as United regain possession. He sees that he is unmarked, that there are 2 fast teammates ahead, and that there is an entire half of the pitch available. He has space in front of him, but the much shorter road to the goal in the situation is quick 2-touch play in behind City's defenders. Sometimes midfielders don't even need to take a touch to sharply change the tempo. Here, during a transition phase, Bruno once again assesses the striker's position in advance, as well as a defender who has already started stepping out. He understands that all the opponent's attention is focused on him and that one of them is already close enough, so he uses the trajectory and weight of the pass as well as information about the defensive line and Buema's position, without taking a single touch. But sometimes the game forces bolder and more unexpected decisions on the ball. Here Aze are in a transition phase and Smit finds himself on the ball in a very uncomfortable situation. Back to the opponent's goal, under pressure and without available backward passing option. In such cases, it's important to be aware of which side of the opponent is pressing from and to be able to keep the ball at maximum distance from them. One successful turn forces another opponent to step out and leaves Smith's teammate free. That teammate also doesn't rush to release the ball, drawing the attention of 2 players and opening space for another teammate. From an initially very difficult situation, Aze creates a scoring opportunity. Here, Niko Paz prepares to receive the ball within the lines. He considers the distances and movement directions of the nearest opponents and decides to avoid a duel in tight space by turning back. He then immediately lifts his head and sees the start of another midfielder's movement. With one more touch, he pauses, giving his teammate time to build speed, and only then plays the penetration pass. Now an example from the maestro of these actions, Xavi. This is a situation where most players would try to quickly switch the flank of the attack, and he convinces the opponent of this through his body shape when receiving the ball. Then, he sharply changes the direction of his movement and the rhythm of the attack, accelerating it. To be effective in ball manipulation, you need to be aware of which side and along which trajectory the opponent is pressing you, and find the most uncomfortable and unexpected solutions based on these references. After this maneuver, Iniesta deliberately doesn't rush to release the ball. He continues moving forward, drawing defenders towards him, and releases the ball at the very last moment. Here is an even more impressive example from Bellingham, who receives the ball surrounded by 3 opponents. Thanks to his awareness of where and from which direction the pressure comes, and his ability to create distance using his body, he escapes the pressure and, like Iniesta, carries the ball until the last moment, understanding that this can pull a defender out of the line and create a space for the striker. Therefore, decisions about how many touches to take and in which direction should be made based on the game's dynamics at the specific moment. If the opponent allows you to receive, turn and move forward, do it. If the opponent presses from one side, maneuver to the other, creating distance between them and the ball. But if you can deliver the ball into depth to your teammate with just one touch, do it, because the main goal of any control is to get closer to the opponent's goal. This is exactly the type of decision making and scanning we work on at ForPro, helping players read situations earlier and choose the most effective solutions in real time. A team of football analysts at ForPro work one-on-one online with players, breaking down their matches and showing what drives their performance. Each session is personal, built around position and goals. Visit ForPro and book your free session today. However, beyond reference points, midfielders' decisions on the ball are often influenced by emotions or ego. Again, Niko Paz drops deeper and plays a one-touch backward pass under pressure. With his movement, he then creates space both for the holding midfielder and for himself. As a result, 6 Milan players can be cut off from the ball, and one of them moves toward it from behind. Paz could calmly pass to the free teammate in front of him or try to carry the ball forward, but instead he chooses an unnecessary dribble toward his own goal. Now those same 6 Milan players become a problem for Como in their own half. Wirtz at Liverpool is going through a difficult period in his career and often makes decisions for flair rather than efficiency. Here he has 2 passing options and the opportunity to move forward with the ball, but instead chooses a very non-obvious option, attempting a nutmeg. Write in the comments which option you would have chosen in Wirtz's place. Sometimes it comes down to small details, like here. All decisions and the quality of actions on the ball are at a very high level. One opponent is beaten, the attention of at least one more player is drawn, and a very brief window appears to release the ball at the right moment. If this is not done, even one extra touch turns a pressy situation into a counter-attack for the opponent. One of the most complex, yet simplest things any player needs to understand is playing through space. The actions of opponents and teammates themselves indicate which decisions is the most appropriate, provided the player is always oriented toward proactive play and progressing toward the opponent's goal. If you enjoyed this analysis, comment what you'd like to see next. This video is part of a larger ForPro course. Check out our educational course, follow the link on our platforms in the description, message us for more details. If this breakdown interested you, watch other tactical analysis from ForPro.